Hey, what's going on, my wonderful people? I'm grateful for all of you, even you, Kurt. So, let's talk about the United States Constitution. In the Constitution, as it was written, long, long time ago, they wrote in 3 areas of jurisdiction. You have the common law, where there must be a damaged party with a verifiable claim, signed in wet ink, under the penalty of perjury. Secondly, you have equity law. Equity law compels performance, meaning if you enter a contract under equity law, you're compelled to perform under that contract. If you don't, that would be considered being in contempt of court, so to speak. Court being the contract, the piece of paper. And like I said, there has to be a contract. Third is maritime admiralty law. This only applies to international contracts, so countries can trade with each other, right? You get stuff there, they get stuff from us, yada yada. So here's the real deal here. Where's the contract? If someone says, you broke the law, well, first of all, if you didn't infringe on the life, liberty, or happiness, meaning property, happiness is property, of someone else, well, then you didn't break the common law. Number two, equity law. There has to be a contract. Where's the contract that I signed knowingly, voluntarily, and intentionally? Both parties have to sign that, knowingly, voluntarily, and intentionally. Where's the contract? Bring forth the original contract that I allegedly signed. If you don't have that, I guess we don't have an agreement. Prove it. Maritime admiralty law only applies to international contracts. So there has to be a valid international contract in dispute. Once again, where's the contract? Where's the contract that I allegedly signed? Where's my signature or my autograph? If you know what you're doing, you're going to autograph it, not use your signature in cursive from accursius. It's the language of the cursed. It's legally, it's art. But anyway, it's all about demanding the contract. Where's the contract? Everything is contract. You get pulled over and they say, hey, you were speeding. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. Geez, I want to pay whatever penalties there are for me speeding. Where's the contract that I signed knowingly, voluntarily, and intentionally that said I wouldn't speed and that I would follow that statute? You call it a law, right, officer? A statute is not a law. A statute is a statute. Here's another example, the Emancipation Proclamation. Remember that? It freed all the slaves. Well, in practice it did. However, a proclamation is not a law. It's a proclamation. No law happened there. So this is how they get you. They say you broke the law. But to break the law, you have to hurt someone's corporeal being, punch them in the face, knife them in the chest, whatever. Or you have to infringe on their rights. Or you have to damage their property or steal it. That's it. Period. Period. Yes, thank you, Ollie. I appreciate your input. So what happened here in 1938? They blended the common law with equity law, and really it's really admiralty law. Why is it admiralty law? Because we've all been entered into international contracts that we don't know about, such as the national debt that's owed to a privately owned foreign corporation called the Federal Reserve Bank. You think your federal income taxes go to pay for the people that you bitch about that are on welfare? It goes to the Federal Reserve. You know what pays for those programs? The gross domestic product, shipping. So it is tied to shipping. It is tied to maritime admiralty, okay? All of these things are applicable, but they have to be applicable and it has to be proper. It has to be correct. So you need to demand correctness. Now, I'm speaking of these things. These are parts of the system, okay? These are laws. These are statutes. These are things like that. You know what supersedes all of that? The grammar. You saw my last video. All capitals. Well, what language is that? I want to pay you all that you say I owe you upon you providing me the Styles Manual that you got that language from. Because the Styles Manual used by the City of London, which is the corporation that operates the bar, British Accredited Registry, you know, lawyers, judges, they are mandated to be correct according to the Chicago Manual of Style. Go get a copy of the Chicago Manual of Style. I've got one. Guess what? Nowhere in there does it have all capital words. That's not a language. They're technically symbols. So it's all about asking questions. Don't make statements. Ask questions. You can't be prosecuted for asking a question. You're asking for clarification. You've stated nothing. If somebody says you did something, don't say, no, I didn't. I'm not guilty. Don't make pleas. Don't make statements. Say, can you prove it? Can you prove that I broke that? Can you prove that I stole that? Can you prove that I punched you in the throat? If you can't, well, I guess we don't have an agreement. Do you get where I'm going here? No more arguing. Stop saying, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. This is unfair. That's what peasants do. And I was a peasant for a long time. It's hard not to be a peasant when you've been indoctrinated by the school system that teaches you to be a peasant, a slave, an indentured servant on the plantation. You think I'm kidding when I say this? This is the actual nomenclature of the words that they use. You know, it sounds bad. It sounds like a joke. It ain't no joke. Do your research. Or just keep watching, you know. I can only do so much, you know. I'm already at 8.5 minutes. So, if any of you guys out there think you can stump me on any law or what you think is law, you know, go in the comments. Stump me if you think you can. You can't. And I, you know, I've done a few hundred hours of research, but for you to not be able to stump me, I could have done way less research than that. So I don't want people to think that you have to do as much research as I've done. So think of anything. If you got a collection notice, or you got a summons, or you want some help, I don't give legal advice, but we can have a conversation. I can tell you what I would do. I can tell you that it would work. Maybe you, Kurt, other than your, you know, jabs for whatever reason, I don't know. I really don't know what your reason for that is, but, you know, stump me, smart guy. Oh, he won't know this. He won't know how to get out of this. Well, then put it in words. Put it in text. I'll show you how I can get remedy. All right, guys. Like I said, I'm grateful for all of you. If you got an issue, you got a question, think of anything that you can to see if you can stump me on the law. And I can show you remedy. Unless you did kill the guy or, you know, pop his tires with your knife, you know, then you deserve to get adjudicated. You deserve to be prosecuted. All right. I want to see some comments, man. One of these days I'll do a live show so I can get you guys to call in. Thanks again. Take care.